I have one Panasonic in my collection, and both myself and my wife love using it. I think it's about a 2010 model, and there's a huge playlist available, along with my other playlists, which I don't know if I'm getting near like 200 playlists or something. So I was using this machine, it's probably been a couple of months ago, and yeah, it's time for new bearings. Great machine, really easy to use. Doesn't have the best performance in the world, but it's good enough. And oh yeah, needs some new bearings. As a matter of fact, it needs bearings so bad that I don't really want to turn it on to let you hear just how bad the bearings are. Now, it's not horrible. They're not like imminent lockup, but it's so close that for whatever reason, I don't think I want to take a chance of running it right now and then having them lock up because I want to try to save the motor by just replacing the bearings. And I hope everything else is okay when I dig into it. So I've never taken this exact machine apart before, although I've taken apart similar machines. Let's see how difficult it is to get this apart. And, hopefully replacing the bearings won't be too bad a job, or maybe it'll be really terrible. Let's find out. these little ball bearing keepers here because it's that type. And let's see how close. This one's got kind of a large shaft there. So it's in need of some lubrication. See, this one I think I can get a little bit closer. Too close. Yep. So I'm going to clean this up and lubricate it with my favorite grease. And I'll get back to you. So I have to admit, these types of bearings are a big pain in the rear if you choose to fix them up. But it's not that bad. And I've done this many times on this channel. So if you're just joining me, this is, you know, bearing repack number, I don't know, 50, 30, whatever it is. It's a lot. That's so much better now. We have struck lube. Yep. And you have to line up the bearings so when you pop this back on, they all seat back in the correct position. So, you know, life isn't that bad. But if you've never done it, it can be intimidating, and you could just say, well, I'll just get a bearing puller and go ahead and, you know, pull the bearings and then just put new bearings on. So I'm going to do the same procedure with this one here. Be right back. And while it may look like I have entirely too much grease on here, that literally is just, come on, focus. It literally is just on the surface. And then what I have to do is line this back up exactly right and snap it back in. This one has 7 little ball bearings. So the previous one over here, it took me about a minute to get everything aligned. This one took me about 10 seconds. So wasn't really too bad. So let's get the cover back on. That was pretty devoid of lubrication, don't you think? I mean, there hardly wasn't anything in there. And what happens is that after it runs for 30 seconds, a minute, whatever it is, everything heats up. And then you realize, ooh, no lubrication. Starts making some kind of terrible noise. Oh, that's so much better. And that is pretty dirty. All right, so how about we go ahead and reassemble the motor and see what it sounds like. This is going to be very difficult to show you this very dirty commutator coming clean. So it is what it is. I use this very old, I just bought one of them, commutator seating stone. It's available on eBay, or you can Google it. You can buy them in quantities of 1 or a box of 10, whatever it is. And this is what I use, and I've cleaned probably well over 100 commutators at least, and it's probably down to about half length or so. Needless to say, it's going to get loud, but I'll go ahead and turn the volume way down because it'll get, well, way too loud. Of course, it goes without saying, don't you even dare attempt doing this unless you are an expert. Anything less than that, forget it. I don't want some kids or some people that have never done this before to watch this video and then try and do this, because you're going to hurt yourself. All right, so let's go and just see how well it runs, and then we'll clean it. Ooh. All right, it's a little hard to hold this thing. Let's see. All right, I think I'm going to try to attack it this way. And yeah, sketchy doesn't begin to describe this, but that's what you got to do sometimes. All right, here we go. So, yeah, see how that looks now? And the wind up and wind down is fantastic. And you don't have any of that, before it was just so bad when I would run the machine just for even like 30 seconds or a minute, because of the lack of lubrication. It just, it was metal on metal almost. So now that's not the case. So we're good to put this back in. Although I am still surprised that the motor they put in here essentially wasn't really meant to be serviced. Anybody want to see just how much airflow it has from the hose end? Probably more than you think. Yep, that's well over 100 CFM. Got a lot of suction there too. And now we're all back together. Let's give this Panasonic Performance Plus Platinum. What a name! It's maiden run with its new greasy bearings. That great, smooth, and quick wind down. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.